Visual FoxPro is a data-centric, object-oriented, procedural, programming language produced by Microsoft. It is derived from FoxPro, which was developed by Fox Software beginning in 1984. Fox Technologies merged with Microsoft in 1992, after which the software acquired further features in the prefix Visual. The last version of FoxPro worked under Mac OS, DOS, Windows, and Unix. Visual FoxPro 3.0, the first Visual version, reduced platform support to only Mac and Windows, and later versions were Windows only. The current version of Visual FoxPro is COM-based, and Microsoft has stated that they do not intend to create a Microsoft.NET version. Version 9.0, released in 2004 and updated in 2007, is the final version of the product. History: FoxPro originated as a member of the class of languages commonly referred to as X-based languages, which have syntax based on the D-base programming language. Other members of the X-base language family include Clipper and Recital. Visual FoxPro, commonly abbreviated as VFP, is tightly integrated with its own relational database engine, which extends FoxPro's X-base capabilities to support SQL query and data manipulation. Unlike most database management systems, Visual FoxPro is a full-featured, dynamic programming language that does not require the use of an additional general-purpose programming environment. It can be used to write not just traditional FAT client applications, but also middleware and web applications. In late 2002, it was demonstrated that Visual FoxPro can run on Linux under the Wine Windows Compatibility Suite. In 2003, this led to complaints by Microsoft. It was claimed that the deployment of runtime FoxPro code on non-Windows machines violates the end-user license agreement. Visual FoxPro had a rapid rise and fall in popularity as measured by the TIOBE Programming Community Index. In December 2005, VFP broke into the top 20 for the first time. In June 2006 it peaked at position 12, making it a B language. By September 2010, FoxPro and its variants had fallen out of the top 50, where it has remained ever since. In March 2007, Microsoft announced that there will be no VFP 10, thus making VFP 9 the last commercial VFP release from Microsoft. The support of version 9 is ongoing with service packs that were released December 8, 2005 and October 11, 2007. At the time of the end-of-life announcement, work on the next release codenamed Sedenner, which was built on top of the VFP 9 codebase, had already begun. Sedenner is a set of add-ons to VFP 9.0 of X-base components to support a number of interoperability scenarios with various Microsoft technologies including SQL Server 2005, .NET Framework, Windows Vista, Office 2007, Windows Search and Team Foundation Server. Microsoft released Sedenner under the shared source license on the Codeplex site. Microsoft has clarified that the VFP core will still remain closed source. Sedenner was released on January 25, 2008. As of March 2008, all X-base components of the VFP 9 SP2 were available for community development on Codeplex. In late March 2007 a grassroots campaign was started by the Spanish-speaking FoxPro community at Más FoxPro to sign a petition to Microsoft to continue updating Visual FoxPro or release it to the community as open source. On April 3, 2007 the movement was noted by the technical press. Also on April 3, 2007 Microsoft responded to the petitioners' requests with this statement from Alan Griver. "We're very aware of the FoxPro community and that played a large part in what we announced on March 13. It's never an easy decision to announce that we're not going to release another version of a product, and it's one that we consider very carefully. We're not announcing the end of FoxPro, obviously. FoxPro applications will continue to work. By some of our internal estimates, there are more applications running in FoxPro 2.6 than there are in VFP, and FoxPro 2.6 hasn't been supported in many years. Visual FoxPro 9 will be supported by Microsoft through 2015. For Microsoft to continue to evolve the FoxPro base, we would need to look at creating a 64-bit development environment, and that would involve an almost complete rewrite of the core product. We've also invested in creating a scalable database with SQL Server, including the freely available SQL Server Express Edition. As far as forming a partnership with a third party is concerned, we've heard from a number of large FoxPro customers that this would make it impossible for them to continue to use FoxPro since it would no longer be from an approved vendor. We felt that putting the environment into open source on CodePlex, which balances the needs of both the community and the large customers, was the best path forward. Code samples. The FoxPro language contains commands quite similar to other programming languages such as BASIC. Loops include do, if, while, for, else commands and are usage easily understood by anyone familiar with other programming languages. Commands take the form of command and end command, some basic syntax samples. Hello World example. Object. Data handling. The language also has extensive database manipulation and indexing commands. The help index of commands in VFP9 has several hundred commands and functions described. The examples below show how to code the creation and indexing of tables, however VFP has table and database builder screens which create the tables and indexes without making you write code. ODBC access using SQL pass-through. References. External links, Microsoft Pages, main Visual FoxPro Microsoft page, MSDN FoxPro support board, VFP's online help, Visual FoxPro downloads page, other pages, Visual FoxPro Wiki, a repository of FoxPro information, a site devoted to the history of FoxPro, VFPX, a Visual FoxPro community effort to create open source add-ons for VFP 9.0. Portal Fox, a Hispano-American community portal for VFP developers.